We have a very special guest in the studio this morning. We do this about once a month. I invite Oldham County Judge Executive David Voegele in to talk about the issues in our community here in the county. And good morning, Judge. Good to see you again.
Hey, top of the morning, Chris. It's another beautiful day in
Yes, it
LaGrange
is.
in Oldham County.
Yeah, we are going to have a beautiful day today, and we need it because, I mean, there's been so many storms going around us. A lot of people, especially those poor people over in Hawaii, not dealing with storms, but dealing with fires. So we're pretty lucky to have what we've got here this morning. I guess the first thing on everybody's mind, I've asked listeners to send me questions and so forth, and one of the ones that's come in from several people is an update on the courthouse construction.
Well, construction is going fine. Steel is going up. The second floor, cement second floor is getting laid in the building. The Project Development Board, which is our local group that's in charge of building the courthouse, is looking at bricks now. We have been given 5 or 6 different types of bricks. The brick is a brick, of course, but the color is different. If you look around downtown LaGrange, you see all different types of bricks and colors, and we'll never be able to match what the old courthouse building, the color of that brick, but we're looking at bricks that will coordinate well at the corners.
Sure.
The old building will stand there, but the new building will meet the old building at a corner, and then a new type of brick. So it'll match. Where I think the most popular one is called Blair Flashing. You know, these names. Another one called Philadelphia, and we've got an Alverton. So we're having a big mock-up made, I guess maybe a 5x5 or 5x7, and we'll put that up against the existing brick with the color of the mortar that would be between the new bricks to see how it looks in the sunshine. Sometimes you look at a brick one day and then
it'll look a little different the next.
Right. I put some bricks on my house one day, and I held them up next to what was there, and they looked perfect. When they got on the house, well, it was a different color.
Really, when the sun hits it. Yeah, there's things like that I guess, us normal folks wouldn't think about unless we're builders.
Yeah, right.
And one thing we were talking about last week when the construction was ongoing at the courthouse, did they find one of the original cornerstones from one of the previous?
Well, I'm not exactly sure what is meant by that. We did find
was it a property marker?
It was a property marker put down in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Mm-hmm. Some type of, I don't know what you'd call it. It was just a silver thing on top of a rectangular piece of stone that had been put in the ground, and it came up at a corner of the building.
Cool.
So I guess the national, geo whatever,
right,
put that in there at some point.
Now, was that saved though to be looked at later?
Right.
Good.
Yeah, we did have people come with metal detectors. They really couldn't find anything. Apparently, the ground had been well searched before over the years, because our construction project is really about the third, the original building, and then there was a fire, and then at one point the building was red, and then it turned to white, and then it went back to red, and I don't know exactly how that was happening. I was told that after the fire in the 1870s, there were scorch marks all over the place, so they painted the building white to cover them up.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. Yeah,
but I don't know how it got back to red.
Right. Now, something else too. The new animal control building. Tell us about that.
Okay, that's soon to come out of the ground. There are a couple of additional permits being sought. Everything that is built has to be permitted by the state, and there are wire lines in the ground and all kinds of things that are coordinated before you actually see something. But we expect in the next couple of weeks that'll be coming out of the ground. It's going to be, finished about early spring.
Okay.
And it's a 17,000 square foot building. It's going to be a lovely building. It'll stand for the rest of our lives and decades beyond. So we want everything we do to be first class. We think of ourselves, are we a first class city or a second tier city? I say we're a first-class city, and we aspire to be that, and a first-class county. And let's keep moving the bar up, not just tread water or go backward.
Right, sure. And speaking of making things, a first-class city, one thing that has been going in is the new fiber optics throughout the county to give Wi-Fi availability to everybody.
You're right. AT&T has an army of trucks running around our county. You see them everywhere. They're pulling wire, fiber optic wire. Every home or business that was established and standing at the end of March of last year will have AT&T fiber available to that building. I don't mean going just past the driveway. We're taking it right to the house or the business, regardless of how far down the road you might be off the main road, and connecting you to that AT&T. You can stay with Spectrum if you choose, or you can go with the internet, Elon Musk's satellite service if you want to. We don't tell you that, but if you want AT&T and you're going to get as fast a speed as there is out there, you can play as many games, watch as many television sets, do whatever, or work from home. A lot of people around here work from home.
Right.
And, they have needed it, and we haven't had it everywhere. But we're the first county in Kentucky to do this with everybody. Boone County did something with Cincinnati Bell about a year and a half ago, but we're really the first to step up in the way that we have to, commit funds to get everybody on the internet. The internet today is like electricity was back in
turn of the century of the 1900s. Yeah.
Believe it or not, the rural electrification system didn't actually get complete until sometime in the 1930s. So there were people I guess it's getting close to 100 years.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
They were still going with candle lights and kerosene lamps. Back in the day.
Now, is this fiber, one thing that I've been kind of confused about, obviously, if you want internet at your home, you're going to have to be paying for that.
Yes.
But is this going to allow people, say, walking down downtown LaGrange or Crestwood, will they have Wi-Fi capability? Is the county going to have free Wi-Fi available if you're out like on the road shopping or something like that?
No, I don't think it's going to go that far. You're talking about these little stations
because LaGrange has that right now, where you can go outside. There is a weak Wi-Fi signal.
Yes, right. Well, most of the county areas are non-commercial. We have obviously Crestwood and North Oldham has a shopping center, and Pee Wee has a little shopping in there, but. No, the service is just to the existing buildings that we're responsible for.
Okay.
Now you can buy, AT&T anywhere. I mean, on my cell phone, I get it
that's
anywhere
what I have too.
go. So, how that works, I'm not exactly sure. I've had to, go to school on this a little bit.
I'm sure. I don't understand all that stuff either.
I was way behind the curve when this started out. I just said we need this, and Kevin Nuss, my deputy, and I went up to a conference in Virginia to meet people, learn about the vendors that were out there and what was happening across the country. And I thought that was about 2019 or so. And then we came back and put out requests to interview companies that wanted to provide this service to us. And we interviewed 6 or 7 different companies came. And it was kind of a long, not tedious, but just a long process for everybody to learn what we had here, decide how they would provide it to us, and come back and show us. And in the end, we were going to try to use a local vendor, but his financing collapsed at the last minute. There's people backing
things
him.
Like that happen.
So AT&T was not going to collapse, and they're very capable, and they've been a really great company to work with. They've done everything we've asked, and are very proud of their connection with us. They've promoted it around the country. We had a kind of a groundbreaking thing here a few weeks ago. They brought people in from Texas and North Carolina, and of course it was a day like today, so I said this is every day in Oldham County.
Yeah, of course, sunshine. Yeah. And one thing before we close out this morning, another thing that I know a lot of people have been interested in is the status of the county pool, the update on that.
Okay, well, the pool is, the pool deteriorated slowly over a number of years. We were putting water in the pool every year, and then after COVID, we did have one, month with a $10,000 water bill.
Wow.
We said, "Whoa, we got to
that's
we got to do something about this." We tried. It's like a car, We tried to keep fixing it because we didn't want to buy a new one.
Sure.
But we reached the point where we thought this is exhausted. We can't go forward. So we've looked at it. The Parks Committee wanted to basically redo what we have. I was opposed to that. I would like an natatorium with an indoor-outdoor component that would allow us to have competitions here, bring people into the community, and
Right.
so forth. But that's more expensive. We were going to do about a $2.5 million repair. It jumped up to $4 million with the escalation of prices everywhere. Since we've started, there's been an issue with the slide. They have to have a new slide, and there's been an issue with the supports holding up the walls of the pool had rusted when they were uncovered and the covering pulled away. Now we've got an electrical issue. So we've got about $550,000 of unexpected expenses that have jumped out. That's half the cost of a
brand new
brand new indoor-outdoor facility. So I ask the question again: are we a first-class or second-class community? I say we're first-class. We've got the money to go forward and do the entire thing correctly, but I respect all the magistrates and their opinions, but they're, I would say, more conservative in this regard than I am. So we're going. Right now, we're still fixing up what we have.
Is there a timeline on getting it back open?
It's supposed to. Well, it was supposed to be completed entirely by April of next year. With these additional problems, I'm not certain if the contractor can meet that. I will say that we have talked about coverage. We're going to have an 8-lane lap pool out there. We've talked about in the future putting a glass covering over that, changing the restroom and the clothing changing facilities to be closer to the John Black Community Center, and maybe adding some seating where people can come and watch kids in competitions. So the natatorium, we might get a partial thing there or something. I've gotten that commitment out of some of the magistrates, but maybe it'll come out great that way, but it's not exactly what I had envisioned from the beginning. But, I'm 1 vote out of 9 on the fiscal court. So anyway.
So hopefully next year we'll see it at some point next year.
Right, and people want it, and we have paid for people to go to the YMCA in Oldham County and in Jefferson County, and we did pay for the opportunity to share the cost of outdoor swimming at the Jefferson County Outdoor Aquatics Center. So we split the cost for the summer with anybody from here who wanted to do that. So we've tried to step up and accommodate those who really wanted to get in the water.
All right. Well, Judge, thank you much. Is there anything else we missed here that we need to bring up?
We did have a new light at 393 and I-71. That's put in for safety. Kroger is going to be opening later this fall. We did have a ribbon cutting from McDonald's on the lot the other day there. There's going to be a lot of traffic in there, and that area is the next section to be widened out from Crestwood out to 393. So the bridge will be worked on in there when that widening comes. But they put up the lights, and they were shy one light. So we complained, and they did put an additional light as you're heading south on 393 coming toward the bridge. There is a light on the other side now because people were saying, well, you get under, you can't see the lights till you get under the bridge. So we did get another light put out there. And I appreciate the Highway Department accommodating our request.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Well, it's always fun to come in and enjoy it, and I hate to be a motor mouth, But,
well, that's what we're here. That's what we're here for, to let people know what's going on, and we'll have you here every month too. So we'll look forward to seeing you in September when we get close to the fall months.
Well, I'm trying to schedule a knee surgery, so you know.
Now your brother-in-law just had his knee surgery
right,
too.
I guarantee you, he's no salesman for it. He told me how much it hurts.
I saw him wobbling with his cane out here with his brother.
I know, but I'm okay right now. I've had a shot, but I know it's going to wear off.
All right. Well, good luck with that, Judge.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you
Thanks a
so
lot.
much again.
Appreciate it.
Oldham County Judge Executive David Voegele with us, and he'll be back again with us next month in September for another update on what's happening around Oldham County.